If your to-do list lives rent-free in your head, you feel behind before the day even starts, the problem might not be motivation. It's probably missing time zones. Are you a mom who dreams of that homestead life you see on Instagram, who feels called to Christian homemaking? You feel like you'd need an extra 12 hours in your day, along with another set of hands, just to make your home work the way you know it could. Welcome to Simply Living Homestead. I'm Amanda Carlin, wife, mama, homemaker, and milkmaid. I've learned the secret to simplifying my time and homestead so my homemaking supports my family instead of exhausting me, and it makes room for the moments that truly matter. If you're ready to get time back in your day, manage your home with confidence, grow in your homesteading skills, and train your children in the way they should go, grab your pitchfork and planner, friend. Let's get to work. If you're a homemaking mama who longs for a simpler, more peaceful home and dreams about homesteading, but sometimes feels overwhelmed or alone, I want to invite you to my free community. It's a calm, off-social media space where women gather for encouragement, accountability, and real support. Inside you'll find prayer, practical help, and a circle of women who understand the life you've been called to. If you're ready for less scrolling and more purpose, come join us. There's an easy app for your phone, or you can log in on desktop for a more mindful experience. The link is in the show notes, and I'd love to welcome you there. Welcome back to the Homestead. Today we're diving into work zones, what they are and why they matter, especially for homemaking moms who are maybe trying to homestead or want to learn some self-sufficiency skills. We are going to be talking about how you can juggle your home and your business and your animals and your homeschool and all the mental load that comes with all the things that you're probably really interested in if you're listening to this podcast. And work zones are the answer to a lot of these problems. If you have experienced the brain is always on problem, like me, work zones are going to be the answer that you are looking for. I, for a very, very long time, lived in this perpetual state of thinking about projects while working on something else. I was always multitasking. I was always half present. I was half working, half homemaking, half trying to care for a child, or like whatever I was doing. There was always this running list of things that I needed to do, or when I was younger, it was like stories that ran through my head. And then as I got a little bit older and started on taking on more responsibilities, there was always just this like, oh, I want to do this and I want to be creative this way and I want to do the thing, or I need to do the thing. And there's always so many things to do. So I ran into this concept first from Chelsea Joe over at Systemize Your Life. She's on podcast here. She is fascinating. Her course, Systemize to Scale, is phenomenal, especially if you are running a business. And like being able to apply these skills that I am talking about directly to running an online business. That's what she caters to, is online businesses. And she has this whole system for setting up time, like work zones specifically for your business, and then like this even operating system inside of it. I love it so much. Go check her out. You probably know about her before you know about me, in all honesty, but if you haven't heard about her, she's a really good listen. And I took this information and I started creating intentional work zones into my week. Now, I have several different types of work zones or work blocks. Chelsea really just teaches one, and that's how I learned it. And the more that I got into this, the more that I realized that work zones are really just a intentional boundary around your time to focus on a specific project, usually one that is reoccurring. It doesn't necessarily have to be reoccurring, but usually it is a specific boundary around your time to focus on a specific project. So for me, I have two main work blocks. I have a work block to do chores. And these chores are not like chores around the house or chores that you would give your children. It is animal chores. I run a dairy, and I spend, when I am in the heat of milking and everything is go time, I spend at least 5 hours a day out in the barn, split up into 2 separate blocks. So I have one in the morning and one in the evening. And I'm also, I'm mentoring, and I'm building community, and I'm sharing with women, and I'm doing this podcast. And this is what I call my online business. You can check out all these cool things over at simplylivingHomestead.com. I'm working on redoing my website, which is a whole nother project of its own. But this platform that I am creating and sharing on and getting to share and get to know all of you guys has been amazing. But I need a block of time for that as well. This is my second work block. Work blocks create this time where you can clock in and create focus, and then you can clock out. And you have this mental freedom that the things that you were working on inside of this is going to be there when you get back. And you no longer have to spend all of this mental energy and all of this time thinking about the things that you didn't get done or the things that you need to do tomorrow, because there are plans and there are systems inside of the work zone so that you can leave those alone. And you don't have to touch them anymore until you're ready to come back to them. Whether it's the next day, later in the day, if it's, only a couple of times a week that you are taking part in that particular work block, you don't have to spend all this time running over and over and over these thoughts in your head, because it is saved for you inside of this dedicated block. And so it has changed the way that I show up for my family. It has made me a more present mother, and I have been able to actually take on more things, for better or for worse. But the things that I do take on, I can give my whole self to. I can do things in a manner that is pleasing to the Lord and not half-heartedly, that I'm serving the Lord and not just serving because I want praise of men. So how do we do this? Let's run through it. A work zone is a block of time for tasks that do not fall into one of these other categories. It does not belong to things that you would do on the daily to take care of your home. It is not things that you would do regularly to take care of your family. And it is not things that you would do to take care of yourself. So if it's not taking care of your home, your family, or yourself, it's a work zone, generally speaking. Things, I've mentioned some of them, but like business tasks, if you work outside of the home, that would be a work zone. You might be working for someone else, but it is a space and time that you are dedicating to a very specific task. Farm administration, taking care of your animals, content creation, anything repeating that doesn't fit into taking care of your home and family or yourself is going to fit into this work zone. So why does a work zone reduce mental load? Well, your brain stops scanning constantly. It stops having to continually run through that mental checklist that you have, because the items that you are taking care of are safely stored inside of that block. You're not multitasking between laundry and doing invoices or taking care of some other project. Maybe you're renovating your home. Maybe you're working on a specific project inside of your home, but it's not something that you need to do to make sure that people are fed and clothed, right? I have often found that some of the times that I get the least amount of work done is when I'm trying to make sure that I get a load of laundry run and, the dishes need changed out some point, and I'm like bouncing between doing home activities and doing the project. Where if I can just sit down and focus on the project, let myself go into that hyper focus, let myself be there and be present in it. And then when I'm done, we're done. And we'll come back to it the next day. You stop bleeding work into everything. You stop thinking about those things while you're making supper. But also, your other things stop bleeding into your work, and it helps create this boundary around it, which reduces that mental load. So how do we identify a work block? We're going to look for weekly repeating tasks. What projects constantly resurface? What project feels bigger than something that you can do in 1 or 2 afternoons and then be done? Things that are going to need a decent amount of time to complete. Things that you're going to want to dedicate a couple of hours to at a time, where you want to focus on it. Like I said, if you're going to do like a home remodel or something, or maybe even a big organization project where you know you've got multiple rooms that really need to be pared down and gone through, and you go through all your things that you have stored there and you'd like to clear some of it out, that is a project. That is not something that you need to be, you don't need to do that for your children and yourself and your family to be clothed and fed and loved. Like, you don't have to do those things, but it would help if you did them, right? And so we're going to set aside a work block to focus on that project. And then you get to decide, do I want to do this daily? Do I need that much time? Do I need it to do it a couple of times a week? Does it need to be just happen once a week until it gets finished? How much time do you need to do that project? Sometimes a work block is going to be something where it's like, well, this is my job. My work blocks really do kind of represent my job. I have the chore block, the dairy block. That's a job. It's something I do every day for indefinitely until you quit the job, right? My podcasting and stuff, all the tasks around that, it is a job. It is something that I do indefinitely until I quit it. And you just repeat it. So I have those blocks repeating. If it's more of a project like home remodel or an organization project, or, maybe even just like I need to do this big push to plant the garden, right? This is a work block. It is something where you have a task at hand and you want to focus on it. And it might not last indefinitely. It might just last a couple of weeks or, whatever you need time-wise. So you need to kind of know roughly what you think this project is going to take you, and then how often do you want to engage in it and for how long. And that's your block. You are assigning a start time and an end time to your day, and then you can put it into your planner. And you can treat it like clocking into a job, even if it's not a job. You can treat this block of time as a boundary surrounding it so that I have set aside time to work on organization. I have set aside time to do it. And I'm going to show up and I'm going to spend the time that I've allowed, and then I'm going to be done. I don't care if I'm not done. It's fine. It is okay. I have the grace to go and take care of my family now. And the work that I am doing here is going to be here when I get back. As we wrap this up, I realize that I don't have a lot of information in this episode about how you're actually storing that, those tasks. I referred to, the tasks are going to be there when you get back. There are systems that I don't have enough time to really touch in really deep here, but there are systems for storing those tasks in a way that you don't have to carry them with you, which frees your brain up to do other things. If that is something where you're like, I need to know that, I really want to know that, I would encourage you to set up a mentorship call with me. You can do a 15-minute one that's free. We'll probably run a little bit over. I'm a talker. I love chatting. You can set up a free call with me if you want to just kind of explore it a little bit, maybe get just a little bit of help. The other free option is you can go over to our community group, simplylivinghomestead.com/community. It's a free off Facebook community group. You can drop your question in there and just like kind of talk through like what you're looking for, and I will give you an answer. I love to share over there. If you're like, I know this is going to take me a little bit more, or you'd like to go even deeper, I do have mentorship calls that are paid. They are 1 hour long, and we will sit down and we will troubleshoot exactly what you are working on, what you're needing to do. We'll kind of break it down so that we can find that clarity for you and you're not having to struggle and muddle through this. I can help you, look at what you have, what is important to you and your family, and we can create a plan that you are going to be able to execute and do. So your action step this week is to write down your repeating weekly work tasks, estimate how long they're going to take, and then set up a work zone for them. Put it into your planner with a clear start and end time, and watch your boundaries grow with your time so that you can focus on your family and you have time to do the other things as well. Snap a picture of your planner with your new work zone, share it in the community. You'll put it in the group under podcast action items. I throw a post up there each week that lets you it's like, hey, here's your action item for the week. Did you do it? You want to share it? So that's over there if you want to take advantage of that. If you want to take advantage of the calls, the links are in the description below. And I would love to talk with you. I would love to help you straighten things out and figure out, how to get your life running just a little bit smoother, and so that you can feel that freedom to learn the other things in your life and do the things that really matter to you as a homemaker and as a mama. So I hope this episode blessed you. Share it with someone who would find it a blessing as well. And I hope that you have a fabulous week. We'll see you next week. Hey neighbor, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share this episode with a friend who is knee-deep in their own homestead? Also, please leave me a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts. It thrills me to know that this podcast is helping you. Keep watching those sunsets, friend. I'll meet you back here on the homestead soon for another episode. See ya!